Okay, so we're gonna get right back into this. I will say that I've read a little bit, just a bit about like food, um, what you need to do. People have told me in the comments I need to interact with the passersby, so I'm definitely gonna do a bunch of that. I'm probably gonna die though. I've seen a lot of people are dying on their first day, but we'll see. I'll try not to. Um, but likely that will happen. Uh, okay. I forgot what I'm doing. I'll talk to some people. Hey, guy. So here we are. Once again, no one's asking us. Got a smoke? Take a look here. Can you repair this device for me? Oh, this is a factory worker. Okay, so factory workers will fix your weapons and stuff. What? Okay. Cool. Yeah, so they will fix my weapons. I was unaware that my weapons would be breaking. But I was unaware of a lot about this game. I don't know what's in the top left corner there. Oh, I was trying to go over here. I'm gonna try and talk to people. Hey, lady. Is she running away from me? Lady, what's up? Hey. Hey. Yeah, they're running away from me now. It's possible that's because anything I can do for you. I'd be much obliged if you helped me learn how to get around your town. There's more than one town here. The first one is called the Bull Project. The second one, the offspring of the project, is the districts. I mean, the residential part itself. Not so long ago, the town also dropped anchor across the river, but I wouldn't go so far as to call that part a District 2. It's just the polyhedron. Tell me about the Bull Project. It's the industrial base of the town. The station, the warehouses, the works, and the abattoir all belong to it. I wouldn't recommend going there. It's not an appropriate place for a person from the capital. It's filthy there, and the stench. I'd say it's not an appropriate place for anyone at all. Didn't think about going there anyway. Say, how come such a tiny town is divided into districts? Well, it just sort of came to be that way. The Gullet and the Guzzle, the Gorkin's tributaries, divide the town into three parts. Each of them consists of many separate courtyards, so maybe that's the reason. And what are those parts? The lower part, adjacent to the abattoir, is called Earth. The one between the Gullet and the Guzzle we call the Knots, and the triangular promontory between the Guzzle and the Gorkin is the Stone Yard. That's intricate. What about the districts' names? The Stone Yard consists of two districts, the Bridge Square and the Atrium, plus the Mistress's Tombs, of course. Earth has four residential districts, the Skinners, the Tanners, the Hindquarters, and Crude Sprawl. In the middle, is something wrong? I'm just not sure you need any of this. The Knots have 7 districts, the spleen, the marrow, the chine, the backbone, the mouth, the flank, and the gut. I don't suppose I need to go into further detail. Surely the Canes will show you around. They are expecting you after all. Much obliged. What else can I get out of this guy? Tell me about the town hall. The town hall is the most useless place in this whole town, I'm telling you. The only thing it's good at is taking up space. It's the most prominent building in the backbone, sinister and still useless. Why useless? Because we are ruled by the, well, rulers. There are no officials around here, and no need for them to. You want to know what's up there in the town hall? The post office and the jail, nothing more. It's fine. They'll finally repurpose the building someday. Turn it into a school, maybe? Whatever the facility, it would still be a better use. I see. And how do I get to the backbone? How come you still haven't got a map? You're lost for good without one. The backbone is in the knots. That's the middle part of the districts between the gullet and the guzzle. Much obliged. Anything else? What about the termitary? Two massive buildings in the eastern part of the Earth. The termitary marks the district's border. Beyond that, there is only the abattoir and then the steppe itself. People do not belong there. Why? Well, they just don't. It's not a people place. But someone has to work there, right? Some folk do. The steppe people, the butchers. That's way outside of your area of expertise, believe me. That was intriguing, my good man. Anything else? The warehouses is a district as well, right? It is, but there's not much to tell about it. It consists of two parts. The first part is where everything that the town exports is stored. Meat, sausage, ham, bone meal, and so on. The other stores various hardware and also the manufactured goods that the regular train delivers. And how do I get there? That's in the knots. It's the southeasternmost part, to be precise, to the east of the station. The meat warehouses are the ones closer to the station. The hardware ones are closer to the town. There's a railroad track running between them. Thank you. Alright, anything else? Alright, no. Cool. I should be like here. Where's the doors to these places? I gotta go around. Okay. So women and children are currently running from me. Hey, guy. He's the same guy. Is this a different guy? What's up, man? No, it's kind of the same guy. Okay. What was I doing? Okay, this one is new. Hey, lady, what's up?
This girl is a changeling. She's not the murderer.
I seem to have lost any capacity for observation. My mind is out of tune. Things no longer add up. Before, I had no trouble forming a trustworthy tessellation out of the most imperceptible contingencies. Now I simply cannot get my head around it. Could it be that I am dying? The steppe air is way too thick. Happens when people... Yes, it definitely means you are about to die. No, I'm gonna be nice. Yeah, let's go with the steppe air. Oh no, Herba tivinire is in blossom, I grant you, but then it blooms every year. Every year the steppe is filled with its stupefying vapors. The issue I am having, however, has nothing to do with fatigue or perplexity. It's just that I've lost my ability to make distinctive events coincide. Wait. Are you... What? What is that? Everyone has that ability. What herb is that? Yeah, what herb is that? No matter what preternatural traits the locals ascribe to it, twire is an all-heady aroma. A bunch of superstitions and remarkably little else. It has psychoactive properties after a fashion, but then so does simple wormwood. Visions caused by ingestion of belladonna or Jimson weed are much more fascinating than what twire has to offer. It's a pity I'm not a botanist.
What?
What? So, have you traveled all the way here only to find that both people you wanted to see were brutally murdered? Is that how the story goes? Yeah, kinda. I do hope that your visit is not in any way related to these most unfortunate circumstances. Um, I have to find whoever it is that killed Isidore and Simon, and I wanted to ask for your help. Savarov told me you have a gift for all manner of investigative inquiry. I am certainly no better investigator than you. I never had a chance to search for a murderer before. The best I can offer is to fill in the blanks with whatever mysterious supernatural entities seem most fitting. Shabnak Adir is the simple man's scarecrow. I would have followed a different narrative. What's that word? The one you just said. Shabnakadir, you mean? The steppe demonology describes it as a kind of golem, belched up by the earth to punish all manner of delinquency. It is shaped as a young woman, but made of clay and exhumed bone matter. An unnerving concept, is it not? No, it's from Inuyasha. I've always suspected that primitive worldviews still exist in the remote corners of our country, but I couldn't imagine they would be so active. I knew you would be exasperated by this discussion. Sacrifices, bovine tails, handfuls of milk teeth in a glass beaker. You may forgive this to children and steppe people, yet having the same notions reiterated by someone surrounded by books on natural history, this must be quite vexing. How would you explain this? The answer is bound to irritate you even more. The tales are true. Bah, you're joking, of course. I do hyperbolize a little. It is beyond debate that Shabnak Adir exists. What is dubious, though, is that bovine tails and milk teeth offer genuine protection from her. Which is to say, sympathetic contrivances like this may be of some use to children and people from the steppe, but are explicitly inefficacious for someone like you and me. We are too literate, too deprived of the scripture codified in ancient soil. God, lady, put down the dictionary. So am I supposed to write off a bad harvest as a sign that the steppe spirits are angry now? We have no choice but to acknowledge the rules enforced by the steppe. We tried to ignore these rules, to place ourselves into the framework of advanced modernity, to no avail. You can call these demons what you want. You may refer to the hair eater as time if this will make you any happier. I am comfortable with a more juvenile vernacular. It is what I am used to. I will find a rational explanation for the crimes of this man-eater by the evening, if you help me, of course. In this case, I would suggest that Simon was poisoned. By the Canes, I would have thought, but I know their family all too well. Their mutual loyalty is only rivaled by their arrogance towards anyone who is not one of them. They hold the princely sage who stands at the head of their family in highest esteem. They believe that a single dishonorable act will tarnish their name for generations to come. I doubt any of them would have stooped to this, no matter whether they wanted to or not. Poisoned? How'd you arrive at this conclusion? I don't believe you understand what he died in focus really implies. Do you know what the Canes refer to as focused? You don't seem to grasp the semantics of the term. These are the Canes for you. These kinds of innuendos are their forte. Well, what is this focus then? It's a mind palace, I am calling it now. Or it's a mental state of being high. Let's see. The focus is anything but an abstraction. Quite the opposite, in fact. It is governed by mathematically rigid regularities. You see, no one but the owner of a focus may get inside. This can only mean that Simon had brought the killer with him, or rather within him, since no physical object may be brought into the focus either. How do you know that? Who doesn't? The Canes are notoriously passionate about all manner of synthetic anomalies. They will never pass up the opportunity to devise a Kunststück that would allow them to warp space, challenge physics, or manipulate optics. Metaphysically, a focus can be compared to a camera obscura. Do note that the name is not unfitting. No, it is entirely impossible for someone to get inside. A curious conclusion, but an incorrect one. Simon was disfigured and bleeding. His bones were broken. Is that so? Well, this does introduce a different perspective. Did you say Isidore was the last person to see Simon? The question is, who did he see before? The sun had not yet set when Isidore returned from the steppe. However, he came to Simon well after midnight. The question naturally arises, where did he spend the missing few hours? That is why I'm trying to trace Isidore's steps. I want to walk the same route. Don't get me wrong, though. Was Isidore seen by Saburov by any chance? He was. He warned Saburov of an upcoming storm. Alright, let me suggest then that while he was in the steppe, he saw or learned something that he wanted to report to all three ruling families. In this case, either of the Olgimsky family should have been on his itinerary, especially since Barak was one of their own men. Really? Definitely. The Bull Project, from the abattoir to the railway, is controlled by the Olgimsky family. If Isidore's discovery had anything at all to do with the kin, Isidore would have certainly related to Vlad. So do make sure to pay a visit to the Lump. That's the name of the Olgimsky mansion. Another fitting name, wouldn't you agree? Thank you, Yulia. What would I do without you? And I have the Lump. It's not super far. Oh, okay. How am I doing? I guess good. Am I hungry? I don't know. I also don't think that I can get food from any of these people. They don't seem to have any. But I did read that you can break into people's houses with lockpicks that you trade for with little girls, like those. But they're currently running away from me. What did I do to you? But the men don't care. Am I going the right way? Yeah. Alright. I don't know what that is. Okay. Does the music change based on where you are? Or what time of day it is? I don't know. This must be the nice part of town. Yep. That's the one. Okay. Hi. It reminds me of that monster from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The shaving. Hey, it's Varys.
No, I won't believe in some earthen killer.
Ah, Bachelor Dankovsky, of course. Who else could be so dapper? Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I've heard quite a lot about you. Have you taken a look around? Be sure to check the state of the industry around here. We have our own ways. How curious. And what is the current state of your industry? Come now, it's a complicated establishment with 1,000 years of history. A special approach is required to control such a colossus. See where I'm getting at, emissary? It would be pointless to object. I can see we're not really seeing eye to eye. The project is special, very special. That means common standards do not apply here. That would be very naive. We'll come back to that.
Many a mickle makes a muckle.
Yes, getting everything back on track won't be an easy task. I'd like to inquire about the fate of my colleague, Isidore Barak, about the manner of his death, to be precise. What are you implying? What is this manner you're talking about? Be so kind as to mind your own manners. I had nothing to do with it. Don't they say that Isidore was murdered by a step demon? A Shabnak Adir? There was that thingy, a talon they fished out from the wound. I can take this from kids and weirdos, but you, a respectable negotiant? It's hard for you to believe, isn't it? It used to be hard for many. Take my boy, for example, a scoffer if I've ever seen one. And now even he believes it's real. He went off his head a bit. You're in the steppe now, esteemed sir, eastern and backwards. The dead rise from their graves here, clay dummies dance, and bulls talk. Does he know the steppe well, that son of yours? He rubs elbows with the rabble, the butchers, Odonghi, shepherds and gatherers, learns their tongues, collects their legends. He doesn't keep them in check at all. They even dare to come visit him within the premises of the town. If you see a worm creeping through the streets, he's definitely looking for my son. What's wrong with them visiting within the premises of the town? They're dangerous, they're aggressive, and they hate everyone who isn't a step person. They'll jump in and kill you on the spot. They'll jump you and kill you on the spot. They'll tear you up with their teeth and devour your flesh while you're still throwing fists at them. So if they are spotted within the town, countermeasures are taken. So what of your son? Perhaps he could tell me more about this creature? You know the point why we're here, dude? Hold your horses. You want to talk to my blockhead? No, you have nothing to talk about. He's not here, thankfully. I don't want you two to meet. You heard me? These are tradesmen's words, and I'll stick to them. I won't leave it at that.
No.
How do you think Simon died? I don't think he was murdered. How could he who craved monocracy not perish? He couldn't, not in this place. Balance requires equilibrium. So Simon's course of action contradicted yours? Come now, what I'm saying is, when someone takes too much upon themselves, they always end up ground down. That's how life works. Yet they say Simon was the one to bend the circumstances, not the other way round. No one seems to doubt that. Simon has lived a very long life. Very long. He was a worthy man, but long doesn't mean eternal, does it? No one is to blame for his death. Examine the body, you'll see for yourself. It just happened. Cain won't let me examine the body. Well, that is temporary. A family tradition. He's not lying to you. He truly believes Simon was murdered. Were he to admit that Simon simply died of death, he'd probably go to his last home himself. A shock would be too much for the man. That's strange. Georgie Cain didn't appear sentimental to me. Alright. Did something happen in my journal? As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Cain, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity. No. Today's quest. Other tasks. What do you want from me, guy?
Swine. Beasts. I shouldn't.
Isidore came by to see you last night. Don't try to deny it. I am also aware of what you two have been talking about. All I want to know is why he left to see Simon afterwards. Oh my, pray forgive me. So he wanted to bring me to heel, that traitor, that bastard. Well, what he asked for was for me to stop the factory. How could I not kick him out? What were his reasons? His reasons, huh? The bastard. He reasoned he'd pay a visit to my daughter. He knows full well how to pull my strings. Well, I told her to lock the door, so he went away none the wiser. Oh, the bastard. So he went to Simon, huh? Thank goodness my loafer of a son is hanging around somewhere, or else, he could have what? Huh? That, my dear and respectable friend, is none of your business. My property, like I said, is in order. See the skin and meat delivery reports? Do you know how hard? No way. It's my domain, whether anyone riots or not, and I'll have my way with them. I see, you're the big guy here. Okay. Is there anybody else here who can be of more help? Yes. No. That's him. Something updated, but I don't know what it was. So... Oh, Jesus. What is that? My heart says I shouldn't go for it. But my brain wants to find out. Where'd you go? Creepy guy. I don't know where that one went. Oh, there it goes. What's this guy's problem? Oh, how ferocious Mother Nature is. No. I'm chasing this thing. I maybe shouldn't have done that. I don't know what that was. I guess I'm gonna go in here. Hey, guy. Hey. How are you?
Katerina thinks Claire is a messenger from heaven.
You found me?
Yeah, right.
Oh well, I'm not surprised. I suppose you're not too surprised by the fact that everyone knows about you either. The rumor of your arrival spread like fire. Why have you come? Vlad the Younger. Who's that? I've come for some sightseeing. There was a peculiar incident yesterday by the spleen. The children were playing in the mud as usual, but then suddenly they ran away from the sandbox, and the parents noticed that their hands were smothered in blood. However, none of them were wounded. Neither were any of them surprised. What's the solution to the puzzle? When the worried adults came to the place where the children had been playing, they found nothing unusual there, only sticks and stones. What do you make of it? Your children play peculiar games. Nice to meet a person of a skeptical mind. I am Vladislav Ogimsky, the younger one, of course, and you are, of course, Danil Dankovsky. Oh, this is that guy's son. Yes, that is me.
Did you hear that? Did it come from inside the well? Or am I getting the jitters?
I have the jitters too. Bachelor, I have news for you that should prove to be of interest. You seem to be looking for the killer, right? I am. And I will go ahead and end this episode here. Maybe we'll find out who the killer is, maybe not. I chased a creepy thing over here and shot it, so that's awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue right away, so look for another episode soon. Let me know if there's anything that I have missed so far, or anything I should do, or what you guys think in the comments below. And thank you again so much for watching, guys. As always, XOXO.